All right, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, good people? My name is Tommy Holt Jr. This is the Organic Marketing Show, and we are back with another one. I told you we're promising you that we're going to keep bringing you leaders in the industry, keep bringing you people who are absolutely killing it in what they do and how they do it. And we're going to talk about how they're marketing and how to just get to become so successful in the field that they're in. These are people that are dominating the niche that they're in. And so I'm quite sure you can get a couple of tips and tricks that you can implement in your business, whether or not you're in the same exact lane or the same exact field as they are in, or you are in a completely different industry. I promise you there is something there that you can take away and utilize for yourself. So we're going to get right into this one, man. Without further ado, I got my man G Staino. G Staino, what is going on, my guy? How are you doing,
Tommy?
brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Just trying to stay consistent and kill it this year.
Absolutely. Real quick, before we get started, what's the goal? What's the goal for the year?
Oh, the goal for the year is to have 1,000 clients.
1,000 clients. That's a big number. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. You know, sometimes we overthink things, so it might not actually be a big number. Where do you plan on growing from? Where's your starting point? What'd you do?
Starting point is more so having more organic conversations on Instagram. So not letting people just go to waste. You know, if you follow me for a reason. So more so just starting those organic conversations. You know, I started taking Instagram a lot more serious last year. And I went from like 800 followers to about 7,000 organically. Wow. And that's just from me putting out more content. And, you know, that's the goal.
So dope. So if you guys aren't following him, follow him now. It's G Staino with 2 O's at the back. Make sure that you follow my man. Let's get him to 10,000 followers for sure. We're going to do that in the first quarter. So let's start off, man. Let's just start off with the beginning. Tell a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what do you do?
So my name is Gerard Reese Staino. So that's where G Staino comes from. I was born here in Chicago, Illinois. That's where I'm located right now. When I was about 12 years old, we moved to Mississippi. So I lived in Mississippi for a while. I went to Ole Miss, went to high school, middle school and high school, well, late middle school and high school in Mississippi. And I went to Ole Miss. I started selling cut. I got a letter in the mail when I graduated high school, and I was selling Cutco knives. I don't know if you heard about the knives. The knife
Start selling the people that came around door to door trying to sell you like the knife kit.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was you. So much door to door. It was more so like, you know, you tell me, you invite me, you introduce me to your friends, and then I just keep going from there. I only went door to door for like my neighbors in the neighborhood. There's some people I went door to door for, but that actually got me into sales and actually selling myself and just sales in general. And then from there, I moved to Nashville.
How good were you with that? Were you selling pretty regularly? How good were you with that?
I did pretty well. I sold about 25,000. You have to sell 30,000 to get to where you do 50%. So I sold 25,000 my first summer. And then the second summer, I actually opened up my own office, and we did about 50,000 in sales. I actually opened up my own office at 19 in Cleveland, Mississippi. And it was tough, but you know, I got to go to Cancun and go on like a carnival trip, and it was cool. So
you were 19 years old at this time?
Yeah, I was 19 and I opened up my own office. So I had 2 receptionists. That was crazy looking back on it. I was 19 with 2 receptionists, and they brought people in. We hired them, we trained them, and they went out and sold Cutco on my behalf.
So let me ask you this question, talking about sales before we get into the marketing side of the things. Like, what do you think at 19 years old, right? At 19 years old, I wasn't thinking about selling nothing, right? But at 19 years old, do you think you were just naturally good at sales, or is that something that you just had a natural knack for, or is it something you can cultivate and learn?
I was more so like, I've always been a people person. Like in high school, I would talk to anybody, like literally talk to anybody who was quote unquote very popular per se. And I think that it was just something that, you know, it just taught me that I didn't have to trade time for money anymore. You know, I could sell $1,000 worth of knives and make $300 to $400 in an hour. And it's like people think that sales is people think sales and marketing, well, sales is more so of us talking, but it's actually just us asking other people's questions and get them to talk to us. And we got to be a better listener than a talker. You know, it's
Facts. 100% facts.
That's what really took me to the next level. But it's not really about talking, but I don't have a problem talking to anybody. So it was hand in glove fit, honestly.
Sales, I always tell people, sales is nothing but a conversation with the right person. And in order to have the conversation, you have to talk and listen. And
Exactly.
I think really horrible salespeople, they do more talking than they do listening. And the really, really good salespeople you feel like you want to buy from them. Why? Because it's the right product market fit. And when you find that right product market fit, it's not a sale anymore. It's just they already know that you have what they want and they're willing to pay for it. So cool.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
All right. So we're rocking out. You're at 19 years old. Kind of go from there. You got your sales office at 19 years old. Go from there.
Well, I did that, and then I just was like, man, I'm tired of selling knives, and I just was kind of superficial. It was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I just went back to school. That was my sophomore year, and then just became a regular student. Started working with the basketball team. Just wanted to see different things in different industries. Worked with that for a while and decided that I didn't want to do that. And then I just graduated from college. And then once I graduated from college, I actually went back to work for Cutco for a summer. We had a huge summer. We did about $372,000 in sales.
Wow.
Just in the summer alone. And then I moved to Nashville and got a fuel card job. So where I was selling fuel cards to truckers. It's called Com Data in Nashville. And I just was cold calling New Yorkers for a year. And that actually helped me be able to just deal with different types of people. You know, people in New York are just very, cutthroat and straight to the point. And then I always knew I wanted to get back into real estate.
Yeah.
Because I thought you wanted to say something. But
no, I'm saying I'm from Jersey. So I was like, I definitely get that northern type of, let's get straight to the point, man. What you're trying to sell me. If I want it, I'm gonna buy it. If not, leave me alone.
Exactly. That's pretty much essentially what it was. But I had worked myself up to where it was like everybody wanted to, like I was killing it in that market, and everybody's just like, man, you're killing it in New York. And it's just a mindset. Just talk to people. People are just, no matter where people are located, they're still going to be people,
Absolutely.
So what actually, my grandparents are immigrants. So one of them are says from Cuba. The others are says from Haiti, and they bought a building here in Chicago in the 70s for like $60K, and it's worth about 1.5, maybe $1.6 million now.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so I always knew I wanted to get into real estate. So I was paying rent for a year, and with me paying rent for a year, I was like, I got to get back to Chicago. One being because I knew that like with multifamily properties, I would be able to have I could live for free. So that's what got me back to Chicago, and what got me ultimately into what I got a new job in Chicago. I was selling market research, so I've always been in sales. But and then from there, I got into real estate. A year later, I bought my first property with FHA, 2 flat, and lived on one unit, rented out the other. Been doing that for 5 years. And,
house hacking.
That's one. Excuse me. That's one thing that's been able to help me be able to be free is because more times than not, people's biggest expenses are going to be their rent, and that's what got me into real estate. And I've just been rocking with real estate here for the past 5 years strong.
Nice. So, talk to me about what you're doing now. I know you're in real estate, but you're in a specific field of real estate because do you have your real estate license?
No, never. I'm not a realtor. Okay. I'm an investor. So I start off with an FHA property, and pretty much 3.5% down. And, you get that and you get your property. 2 years of tax returns is all you need, and you can get your property. Now, when it came to investing, I was able to, more times than not, people when they're telling you to get into real estate, they say, build up your cash through, wholesaling. But I just knew I never wanted to do that because I wanted like a portfolio, and I wanted to ultimately leave my 9 to 5. So with that being said, I had to figure out a way in order for me to buy real estate. And I just ran across the BRRRR method, which is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. But I was able to, master that. And I actually bought 2 more properties just using other people's money. but I got 2 more rentals, and I was able to, I had 2 rentals, I had 2 single family homes. I thought I was killing it, and
Yeah.
you know, I was able to get into more real estate, and I was probably bringing in about, let's see, 1735 plus 1500, probably like 4 or 5K,
Mhm.
4 or 5K a month passively, because I had a property management and things like that. So it was cool. And then I just know I wanted to get into more things, but that's what actually got me into credit. And people think that I'm a credit guru, but I'm really not. It's just that I understood that the more credit that I got, the more real estate that I'll be able to buy. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Because I
Yeah.
started off doing my personal credit cards, and what I found out was that by buying real estate with your personal credit cards, your score, say for instance, if you max out your 35% of your score is utilization, and if
Correct.
you buy them with your personal credit cards, then your score is going to go down. So when it's time to refinance, you have a low score. So that's what got me into business credit.
Yeah.
And once I understood business credit, and business credit doesn't report to your personal, that's what really got me into the credit space, and got me to where
Got it.
we're able to help people now, as far as with Blue Magic Solutions, my company. So real estate is really what got me set free from my 9 to 5, and what got me on track to be able to do many things. But real estate got me into credit. So
Got you. Got you. Okay. So talk to me about your methodology. I know you're doing the Burr method, um, but can you go a little bit deeper into and give some people like how you actually are getting these houses? What are the criteria? What are you looking for? How do you identify markets? What are you doing to constantly have lead flow?
So basically, I have an amazing realtor. Shout out to Ken Yu and the Frank Montrose team. They hooked me up here in Chicago, but they pretty much, it's actually illegal. People can't wholesale in Chicago anymore, which is,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that, but you
Well,
can.
I think it's what, like you can do one like every year or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's it. You can do like one.
Yeah.
So make it good.
For real.
But so I have a realtor that brings deals. They get a lot of off-market deals, but basically, the first part is you got to be able to analyze a deal. So anytime, I'm gonna give out a little bit of the secret sauce here. So anytime that I'm looking at a deal, it has to be enough for it to be construction, and it has to be enough for me to like recoup a little bit more of my investment. So say for instance, if a house costs 100 grand and it costs me $20,000 to get it, say for instance, on the construction, I'm always gonna write in my company to where we can, like say for instance, we're gonna be a project manager. It doesn't matter. And my lender knows this as well, to where this is the secret sauce, to where one thing I would say is that when you're dealing with real estate construction, never, ever, ever go to a contractor and say, the bank gave me $40,000, because that's the quickest way to lose $40,000. You
Yeah,
see what I'm
sure.
saying? If you tell me, if you tell me, you call me, we had a call yesterday, and you tell me I got $40,000 to spend, well, guess what my price is?
40,000.
Exactly. So that's one of the biggest things that I could tell people that I had to learn was, in Chicago, we call it never front your move. So you're the one, as an investor, you're the one taking all the risk. You should be compensated. It's not the next man's business how much the bank gave you. So his
Correct.
knowledge, he only gave you 20,000. The bank only gave you 20,000. You got to make it work. You see what I'm saying? Once
Yeah.
I understood those little things when it came to construction, and just never showing, that's like the biggest thing. And one thing also, is always you never go in to ask people. You never ask a contractor how much is this going to cost. The biggest thing with real estate construction is it's 2 costs. It's material cost and labor. There's no way around that. It's material cost and labor. There's no other cost when it comes to like real estate construction. You got labor for the people to do the work, and you got the materials that actually cost you to do the work.
Yeah.
So once I understood that, and I understood how things cost, and assembling a good team, I was able to, we use hard money lending as well, to where I have a guy. It's a lot of hard money lenders out there, but I have a guy who I go to. His name's Avery at Fund Source. We're doing a deal right now, where I just always recoup a lot of my money on construction, and that's what I would like to teach people, and teach people how to maneuver with people, and that's the real estate. But the thing is, with real estate, you probably already know this, but with real estate, I feel like you have to have more cash flow and then you invest in real estate. Most people want to just invest in real estate. You know what I mean? But that's not really the wise way. You got to have like a job or a business that's cash flowing. So then you can, invest in real estate.
So you got this program that's showing people how to do this, right? And this program is what's the offer? What's the catchphrase that you got there for the program?
So how to acquire real estate using 100% other people's money without having to wholesale properties, because that's exactly what I didn't do. I've never wholesaled a property before. My ultimate goal when I got into real estate was to, have a huge portfolio. Once you get into it, things change. But I'm more so flipping now because it's the same principle. Just getting rid of the properties, get a lot of cash in the front end. And I just don't, as I've gotten older, a lot of people think they want that rental portfolio until they get it, So
I had a couple of rentals, man. And a lot of people don't realize that like you don't make a ton of money off of your rentals. By the time you pay for everything, your property management, capital expenditures, your taxes, everything that goes along with it, maintenance. I mean, your average property is bringing you maybe $350, $450 a month.
Exactly. And what business do you know that can survive? People get excited about that too. I'm making $500, I have to work for it, but it's like you could create a business and make that every day. So I never thought like 5 years from now I'd be like a flipper or like flipping properties. But let's say for instance last year, using these methods that we've done, we made I partnered with my contractor, but we netted $50,000 just from using these methods. The year before that, we had another property that we flipped. It was actually my first flip. We made about 20,000 off of that. And then that year, we did some value adds to my portfolio and was able to cash out about 70,000. So these are just the same methods that we're using to be able to, making $50,000 in 4 months. That's equivalent to making probably 90,000 in corporate America. Because
I mean, the average America is making $42,000 a year. So if you made that in 4 months, and you're not swinging the hammer, not doing
exactly. I'm the least handiest man, bro. I don't do anything but put the bread up. That's all I do.
So let's talk about this. So we got this process down. You already have a rental portfolio. You just started getting into flips. I think 2 years ago, you said, right? Last year or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so you're using the stuff that you were using before to build up your rental portfolio to now add to these flips. And now you're talking about this and showing people how to do this. How are you marketing that piece? Because that's different than marketing for deals. Because right now you have a team that's bringing you off market deals. How are you planning on using your marketing experience to organically bring people into the fold to see what you're doing and how you can help them?
Awesome. So that's where Connectly comes into play. Well, basically, anytime that on Instagram, one thing that when we first started using Connectly, that's like software as a solution, but it's just everything that we have. And the number one thing, and shout out to Nick, because I just got this from just Nick's videos for him putting out videos. It's more so just having like those call to actions to that text number. So we've generated. Powerful. Yeah, it's so powerful because we can start a whole lead. Like we generate leads easily because, say for instance, we've generated about 200 leads. I want to say in about 2 months of actively using Connectly. We first started off with ebooks, but it's just giving people, anytime you post something, and I kind of stayed away from this a little bit in recently, but more so giving call to actions, and that's when Connectly comes into play. It's like keywords. So I would say, for people who see this, text Tommy to 773-839-6913. From them texting Tommy, I can already lead them to have them go say we had an offer, or like we had an affiliate or something, and I could just send them what I wanted to give them right away. And not only that, say for instance, I'm not going to just give it to them. I'm going to say, well, give me your name, your number, information, then I'll give it to you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then just having lead magnets as well. Once I've gotten to use Connectly, I generate leads just off of Instagram alone with my lead magnet. So my lead magnet, I'm gonna work on it to be better because I'm in like been checking out Myron Golden stuff, and I just need to make it a little bit better. But say for instance, my lead magnet now is how I went from zero to $250,000 in business credit, and so people just download that automatically, and that is just
That's a good lead
it just
magnet.
generates leads organically.
Yeah.
From just people coming to my Instagram page and just using those. The biggest thing that I use is going to be those keywords like text. And you'll be surprised, man. The good thing about the internet is the content lives forever. Last week, some guy texted me something that I posted about 3 months ago. I said, text me 80 to get the cheat sheet on how to get an 80 paydex score. And people still text it, because the content on the internet lives forever unless you delete it. So.
Absolutely. So to wrap that portion up, you're basically using Connectly, which is an all-in-one software where it does your text messaging, email marketing, campaigns, your funnels, your course. It holds your course in there, your everything, right? All that stuff is all in one. And then you're simply just saying, hey, text this number if you're interested in this. And you're leading them with how to get $250,000 in business credit, or you're leading them with how to get that 80 paydex score. You're leading them with something that they want. You're kind of dangling that carrot in front of their face, knowing that they want it, and they say, "Oh, okay, it's just a simple number I have to text." In order to text that, in order to get that thing that they want, they have to put their name and their number and their email address in there, and therefore you can go ahead and remarket to them because they're already interested in what you have to offer.
Exactly. And sometimes, and the good thing about it is with forms, you can have them any information you want from them. So now if somebody wants to book a call with me, one thing that helps me a lot is I can customize the form anytime to where I want to know their Instagram name, like in order to talk to me, what's your Instagram name? Because then from there, when I'm preparing for the call, it's like, cool, I can go in and look at it and see like,
that's a good.
I actually learned that from Marcus 500. He was like, that's actually, and Nick says this all the time, is that's the new currency is people's information. The more information that we have, the more, we're just building our list and building our list and building. I think Nick's list is like 8,000 people now that he's just brought people in. So just build it, man. Connectly, man, it has everything because Stripe, if you want to start charging people to be on your calendar, Stripe integrations on there, and that's like a heaven sent because it's so simple and easy to use if you actually trying to use the program. It's turned me up to a new level. That I actually started making money on the internet last year through Connectly. Started off with ebooks.
Amazing.
And
that's what I'm talking about.
It's one thing. We went from shout out to Van because Van actually connected us, and Van, he said I'll set this up because it's one like. Only thing is, I'm gonna be honest. The only reason why I started doing more on the internet is because I saw that you can make money from it, and that's what Connectly helps solve so many of my. It's like problems I didn't even know I needed, or things that I didn't know I needed. So just being able to, man, the courses in there, the emails in there, the website. Like say for instance, I have a whole. You saw how many pages I have on my website yesterday, right? Like.
Yep.
Everything's in there, and it's just so easy and simple with the help desk. And I'm not even a tech guy. I'm not a tech guy, but I'm telling people like, look, this is simple. This is like creating a Microsoft PowerPoint these days to create websites and funnels.
Well, that's cool. That's amazing, man, because that really, the fact that you're able to make money for the first time on the internet, I love hearing stuff like that because we have tons and tons of stories of people that are like, man, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to work. But then when you have a system, when you have something that's duplicatable, when you have a process and someone can show you that process, it's just literally, marketing by the numbers, right? It's just literally do this, boom, make money. People try to make this thing harder than what it really is. It's just that you have to just know what it is, and having a solid software that can lead you down that pathway is definitely a good starting point. So is everything ready for your people to consume right now?
I'm actually I've toyed back and forth of just having the course, but I want to connect with my people. So I'm gonna host it live for the first few, maybe like the first 3 or 4. Host it live, and actually I do use the Connectly system I don't save any of my Instagram lives. So another reason why I use Connectly, I upload everything into there. just because it's like it's live.
Yeah.
I want you to be there. I feel like if you start putting your lives up on Instagram, people have no incentive to join the live. So I know I don't put any of my lives on Instagram, but it's I got to tell you that I actually host my lives in the Connectly platform. But
Nice.
when it's all said and done, for the first few classes, I'm going to host them live with the people, and then I'm just following the blueprint of people before me.
Oh,
Marcus did the same thing, and then when it gets too crazy, if it ever gets too crazy, it'll be evergreen on the Connectly platform. Also, even with, like, say for instance, business credit, and when we have with Blue Magic Solutions, we're able to take on clients. Not only say for instance, if I talk to you and you and I talk, you're a prospect. My whole team, if they need to know anything, they know. Like, they all have Connectly logins, so where they can go and just go listen to the conversation. You get
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we can text all of our clients. We text them all. It's all communication. It's amazing. Like, I could go on for days because all of my team, my assistants, they know. Like, anytime you do something for a client, you text them and let them know. Text them and let them know. Text them and let them know. And if even if they need to call, they can call as well. But they don't like calling, so I'm doing the calling most of the time.
Dope. Well, listen, man. We always like to ask our guests, if they could leave a couple of nuggets, maybe one, two, three, whatever, on what the audience can do. What action items can they do to market more effectively and market more often organically? So, if you can give one or two tips, that'd be greatly appreciated. What's something that you're knowing that absolutely works, that if someone watched this video and they took action on this, they can market more often and more effectively?
I would say always have call to actions. Call to actions. Don't ever just put anything up to where it's just like, all right, here. I would say
Yeah.
call to actions. And then two, man, for what you're getting with Connectedly, I know there's other things out there. Like, I think it's what, $60 a month now? 60?
Yeah, 59. Yeah.
59. Oh yeah, so $59 a month. I was telling Tommy yesterday, get you 2 actionable steps is just integrate, like, get involved with the system, because it's not hard. It's not hard at all. I would say call to actions and get you a system that where, I'm partnering with some people, where we can host all of our leads, because the thing is, you have no business without sales and leads.
Mm,
There's no business. I don't care what you're selling. You gotta sell the product, and you gotta have people to sell to. So with integrating Connectedly, you have somewhere to host all of your leads. You can text them, and always have call to actions, because you may only get 1 or 2 people, but at the same time, that 1 or 2 people, you don't understand that, like, the fastest way to go from the internet to cash in your pocket is conversations. And if somebody texts you a number, if they text your number, don't let one thing that I had to learn with my systems, with my ebooks, is that I couldn't, a lot of times on the internet, we let the system, we think that, okay, I got Connectedly, I got a funnel, this is going to do the work itself. But at the same time, just talk to people. So if you actually talk to the person, that's when I started converting way more sales that way. Was when I was actually, they text my number, and I'm like, yo, it's actually me. At first it was going to be an automated message at first, but then I started texting them and then having conversations. That's the biggest way, is just having conversations. You can, even if you don't have Connectedly, you can afford the $60 a month, just tell them to DM you. But I'm pretty sure Connectedly has the automation for that as well.
Yeah, we do have a automation for DMs, but you have to have at least 10,000. That's where Instagram kind of unlocks that feature. You have to have at least 10,000 followers. So once you get 10,000 followers, which is, you're on your way to it, you're going to get that. What's going to happen is that you're going to go ahead and actually be able to unlock that feature, and it'll be all good. Let me turn this off real quick. So, man, number one, I appreciate everything that you kind of drop for our people, man, making sure that they get some of that value, making sure that you can, see that journey from, hey, I just having this dream, of doing real estate, man, noticing what your grandparents did and saying, man, that makes sense. Let me start doing that, all the way to now where you're teaching this stuff and really hope going to be changing some people's lives, because your message is going to resonate with a lot of people, man. There's a lot of people out there that want to be able to do the same thing. So I definitely, man, appreciate you popping on here and spending some time with us, brother.
All right, anytime, man. I let you know, man. Anytime, like, yo, this thing is the truth. It's amazing. I'm telling you, man. Like, this thing is. If you want to make some, because the Stripe integration, it's like,
It's easy.
Everything's there. It's all there. It's like Prego. It's all in there. So, like I told you, man, it actually, we made some money. So and once I just watched the videos, and I can keep going, man. I really just appreciate you guys and you guys putting on for the community, and then Nick always showing what's possible, and I just appreciate you guys, and it's Black owned, so I'm rocking with it. So thanks for having me, and if you need anything from me on my end, I'm always here.
Dope. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you, man. All right, everybody, man. This is going to conclude this episode of the Organic Marketing Show. Man, so many nuggets in there. Such an inspiring story to kind of see where he's coming from at 19 years old, man. Imagine being 19 years old and having your own office, making 50 grand, selling $50,000 worth of stuff, and then the following year going over $300,000. This is something that's relatable. This is something that someone out there is going to look at this thing and say, I can do that. I identify with that man. I identify with who he is and what he's gone through. And I see the real estate thing. That's something that I want to do. More importantly, understanding that no matter if it's real estate, no matter if it's selling knives, no matter if it's anything, barbershop, whatever it is, you're not in that business. You are always in the marketing business, and you're always going to need ways to contact and stay in contact with your customers. There is not a business out there that is worth anything without customers. You have to have paying customers coming into your business. The only way that you can do that is to initiate these conversations. And that's exactly what this is all about. We're about teaching you guys different ways from different industries, from different people all across the country on how we can market more effectively and market more often. So that's going to wrap it up for today's show. You guys were amazing. Thank you so much for being on here, and peace out.